Hey there, I'm Kevin and welcome to day 5 of our level 2 of the Baritone Beginner Series. Today I'm excited to share with you the F chord. Now the F chord is going to be one of your first bar chords that you play on the Baritone ukulele. So we're going to take a look at the chord, how to play it, some ways to get in good position, because I know bar chords can be tricky. So I'm going to give you all the tools to accomplish this. So get yourself tuned up and let's get started. Hey, before we get started, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel here and making sure that you guys go over to allforyuke.com, where I have PDF worksheets put together that will help you enhance this experience. Well, I hope you're as excited as I am to learn your first bar chord here on the baritone. So the F chord is typically the one you're going to encounter first when you start playing through songs. So the way that I like to play the F chord here, and I'm going to kind of give you a couple different variations of it. So you're going to put your ring finger on the D string of the 3rd fret, your middle finger on the G string of the 2nd fret, and your index finger on the E and the B string here down on the 1st fret. So it looks like this. Now, the important aspect of this chord here is you really want to make sure that your index finger is laying super flat. So if you see any bend in your finger, where you're kind of popping out your knuckle, you're going to find that you'll lose this bottom note. So you really want to make sure that you're getting these 2 notes on the 1st fret before you go any further. If you're not getting the right amount of pressure, you'll notice the notes kind of sound dead, and you don't want that sound. So the other aspect here that you want to take a look at is, where is your thumb? Now, for me, I kind of have a couple different approaches to this. First, I will try to use my thumb on the back of the neck where I try to pinch right behind my index finger. So I'm really creating a good pressure point here as I press down this chord. So when I do that, I get those notes to ring out nice and clear. So from there, I'll kind of add a finger as I go to make sure that everything is coming through clearly before I start strumming or trying to incorporate this into a song. So I add my middle finger now to the G string on the 2nd fret, and I'll pluck all 3 of these notes. If those are coming through nice, I add my ring finger here to the D string on the 3rd fret, and I do the same thing. The other component here I want to talk about a little bit is really making sure you're on your fingertips. Your fingernails should be facing you on your middle and ring finger. So if you find yourself laying them down a little bit, where your fingernails are facing up, then you'll notice that you kind of get some more of these dead notes in the chord. So I would always encourage you, spend some time with this. If your hand starts feeling crampy, like sometimes the bar chords can make it happen, give yourself a rest, kind of shake out your hand a little bit and then approach it again. I suggest doing this multiple times, and as you work on this chord or any bar chord that we do going forward, you kind of have to do them a little bit every day. A little bit of your practice session should be dedicated to bar chords if you really want to start using them. So again, we have these 2 fingers propped up here on the top and our index finger laying flat, and we get that nice, clean, clear tone. Now I'm going to use a term here called cradling. So if you don't want to have your thumb on the back of the neck, the other option that you can use here to do this, now this is contingent upon the size of your hand, this doesn't work for everybody, but I want you to try it, is kind of taking the neck and putting it here into the U of your palm. So what this does is you're kind of using the bottom of your thumb to cradle this chord, and then you're kind of pressing with the back of your hand to get this chord here. So sometimes when I play this chord, you'll see my thumb kind of sticking up here. So this is something, again, depending on your hand size, you might have to play around with this and make little slight adjustments, but try to find what's comfortable and what works for you. So when you're playing this, when it's cradled, what I like is that I can keep my hand cradled like this as I move into other chords in close proximity. The thing when you're playing an F chord is, if your thumb is down and you're having to move to another chord, your thumb has to move. So the cradle kind of eliminates that and keeps things in place so that you can kind of focus more on moving your fingers than shifting your entire hand around. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about this F chord here is the other option you have for playing it, if you'd like, you can bar the entire 1st fret. So when I do that, I'm actually kind of using the outside part of my index finger rather than this flat part here where I kind of have softer pads. I kind of use this outside part where it's a little harder, and I tilt my finger out, and now I'm covering all 4 of the strings in the 1st fret, and then I place my middle finger in the same place here on the G string of the 2nd fret, and my ring finger on the D string of the 3rd fret. So it makes the exact same sound. It's just kind of a matter of what's more comfortable for you and what chords are you playing in the sequence. If you're playing another bar chord, it might be nice just to keep the bar down as you go there. So I'll show you a couple of these different versions of this chord as we do the play-alongs today, but I encourage you to take some time, take it slow with bar chords. They are a little bit more challenging than your typical 1 and 2 finger chords. They get a little frustrated, I know, I've been there, but you have to do it a little bit every day, and we're going to get through it together. So that is the F chord. Now let's take a look at a simple strumming pattern and a couple of chord progressions to start working this chord into your routine. All right, so we're going to take a step back with the strumming pattern today because I really want to focus on our fretting hand. So I want the rhythm to be nice and simple so we can really focus on getting all of these notes to ring out nice and clear here for the F chord. So the strumming pattern we're going to use is down, up, and then mute. So we just go through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So we'll keep it nice and simple here. Let's just try to do that together nice and slow. We're going to hold down the F chord. If you want to try the bar version or full bar version or the 2-finger version, that's okay. Experiment around with your thumb position here too, and really evaluate this chord as you're playing this. Listen and make sure that all of the notes are coming through. If you're finding that there's a dead note or it doesn't sound quite right to you, that's your opportunity to kind of go and make sure, are my fingertips up? Is this finger nice and flat? All of those little components are going to lead to better tone and better sound overall. So here we go. 4 count in. We're just going to kind of go through this nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. A couple more. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Hey, if you're digging this uke that I'm playing today, this Macala MKB is a sweet sounding uke. It's available at allforuke.com/shop. When you buy through the All for Uke shop, you buy your Kala ukuleles, you're supporting All for Uke as a Kala affiliate. So I encourage you to do so. This is a great sounding uke, guys. I know you're gonna love it. All right, so let's put this into a progression now. So the chord progression we're just gonna use is F, and then we're going to move to a C chord, which is middle finger on the D string 2nd fret, index finger on the B string of the 1st fret. So this is a good chance to play around with whether or not you want to keep your thumb behind the neck, or if you want to try that cradle with your thumb. I prefer to do the cradle, because as you see here, when I move between these 2 chords, I don't have to have much movement with my thumb to make that happen. So I'll let you play around with that. We're going to do 2 times a piece with the strumming pattern, down, up, clap, going back and forth. We'll do it several times in a row. Nice and slow. I'll count you in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Back to F. 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Keep it going. All right, last time, here we go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. All right, so now we're going to do a chord progression here with the metronome. So the chord progression will go from F to a B flat, which you remember from the last lesson. And I'm going to give you 2 options there. You can do the easier version, which is ring, pinky, and index finger here on the G, B, and E strings, or you can do the full version by adding the middle finger to the D string of that chord, or what you will see me doing when I go from the F chord to B flat, which do happen a lot in chord progressions, is I'm just going to take my ring finger and lay it down across the D, G, and B strings to get from from F to B flat. And then we'll go to a C chord, and then we'll finish with a D minor chord. So check out the graphics below to follow along. We'll do this at 88 beats per minute, so just take it nice and easy with me. We'll do 2 times per chord, go through this a few times with the metronome. Try to just follow me, don't think about the metronome, just kind of let it guide us. So here we go. I'll give us the count in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, B flat, and C, D minor, back to F, B flat, C, D minor, keep it going. Smile, you're playing the baritone. Last time through, B flat. Such a happy progression. End on D minor. All right, so we're bumping the tempo up to 100 beats per minute here. So just, again, stay with me. Focus on these chord changes. If you need to pause the video and kind of walk through the chords a few times, feel free to do that. That always helps me to really get my chord progression intact when I just use my fretting hand to really map it out before I get there. So here we go. I'll count us in, 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2. Keep it going. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I'm using the cradle here. C, D minor. Thumb's not moving too much. C, D minor. A couple more times. F, B flat, C, D minor. Last time, you got this. F, B flat, and C, and on D minor. Well, thank you so much for joining me here for day 5, where we explored the F chord. I promise you, it's just going to take a little bit of practice every day, and you're going to get this chord. It just takes time, patience, perseverance, all of that good stuff. My name's Kevin. I thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments below. Let me know where you're playing your baritone with me out there, and I'll see you next time.